Hi, it's me. We need to wrap up the agave wine. I understand there have been some hard feelings because I read the comments. And people are upset that I haven't updated the thing, that I haven't told you what happened to the agave wine. Well, I'm doing it right now. So, my favorite saying is, that's right, better late than never. So here you go. Okay, got my big book of notes here, and I'm just gonna recap for us what happened with this stuff. We began with 3 pounds of agave syrup, 1 gallon of spring water, Lalvin QA23 yeast, and Go Firm Fermento in various measurements that I added over 4 days. Step feeding, nutrients. We kind of talked about that before. We did this around the end of June. So it's been about 9 months in production. Then 2 months later, on the 24th of August, I racked it. Okay, so it came out to 0.988, totally dry. And the fermentation was completely successful, so the nutrient schedule worked out well. But there's no sugar. There was no sugar at that point. Very, very heavy on the alcohol when I tasted it. And there was no good parts of it at all. So I was not a fan of it, to say the least. At that point, I added a heavy toast oak spiral. I thought that, maybe it could save the day. It often does. I remember when I had the blueberry wine, I didn't really like it that much. I added the oak and it was phenomenal. So I thought, well, maybe it'll do it again. And then with that, I added about 12 ounces of agave syrup to sweeten it. And I thought, all right, combine those two things and we'll see what happens. Then life got busy, applied to grad school, you know that story. And I bottled this stuff like 3 weeks ago on March 10th. So I said, well, let's see what happened. Well, it still sucks. It is awful. I hate it. It is not it might be one of the worst because for whatever reason, the flavor combo is making me queasy. Every time I have it, I get a little queasy. So this is not good. This is not good stuff. My actual notes on this were you got 4.5 bottles after I bottled it up. Came out to 14.7% alcohol, so pretty high end. So then what I wrote for my tasting notes is I said it smells medicinal and it smells and tastes ever so slightly like cough syrup. Yeah, that is just cough syrup. I don't like this stuff. It's sweet with a funky, bitter aftertaste. It's definitely heavy on the alcohol, and the heavy toast oak doesn't complement the flavor nearly as well as I thought it would. So, you win some and you lose some. This one I thought was totally worth the experiment, and I'm happy I did it, but my takeaway is don't do this again. Unless, I guess if you really wanted to do it, you would have to add a lot more stuff to the basic recipe that we started with, which was just agave syrup and water. Maybe add some tannin powder, some form of acid, malic acid or citric acid, or one of them. Maybe. I don't know. I won't return to agave wine again just because this was so icky that it makes me think that this is why people don't make agave wine, is just because it just doesn't have enough stuff to make a good wine after fermentation. It didn't preserve that really rich flavor of the raw agave syrup. So it happens. Fermentation often does that. Just gets rid of flavors. Sometimes works, sometimes it doesn't work. You know how usually on my wrap-up videos, I always include a notes for next time section, how I would improve the recipe, what I would do next time. Well, this just says, don't make this again. That's my note, is nope. And just for the sake of optics and completeness, I will taste it again on camera. Okay, here it is. It's my little bottle. Yeah, there's that smell. And it's not that pleasing. So, yeah. Yeah, it's not disgusting, so I don't want to be over dramatic, but it is not something I'd want to sit down and drink at all, not even a little bit. So that's all I'm going to taste from it. It's sweet at the front end, and then you do get some of the vanilla from the heavy toast oak, so that's, I guess, the one redeeming feature. But then on the back end, it's just bitter. There's this gross bitter note, and the whole thing makes me queasy. So I don't like it. That's how you learn. You do stuff, and then you figure out if it worked or not. And this one didn't work. So that's the story of the agave wine. If you have different experiences with it, leave it in the comments and let me know. So in the meantime, be nice to each other, do kind stuff, do good stuff, and just have fun. That's life. That's the whole life. And watch my videos. Take care. Bye-bye.